This is Andre Banks coming today from Banks Credit Chat, discussing a platform that has been gotten a little bit more of attention these days. It's called Possible Finance, and they are supposed to present a different alternative to using payday loans and using a personal loan. They were featured on, I shouldn't say featured, but they have been affiliated with Credit Karma. Credit Karma receives some kind of commission if you go to them and utilize them from their services. Credit Karma is an affiliate of them, even though they receive compensation for it. Anyway, even though the title says possible finance, meaning that hey, all things are possible with their particular company. The name does not really represent what they actually do. In fact, one of the things people complain about is that their customer service is horrible. The app is not easy to use, even though they told this is. Again, these are from conversations I've had, people who utilize the service itself. Even I remember briefly when I used to work as a credit counselor talking about this company, but didn't know that much about it because I didn't hear that much complaint. But people were, everything is coming up new with so many different lenders coming out to give money. And the reason why people went to Possible Finance, the name it says, because they will also, if you didn't have a credit history or have bad credit, they will help to improve your credit history over time by making payments to their particular platform as a personal loan, which normally does. So the possible is is a bad name for it because it makes it very difficult. From what I'm hearing about it, makes it very difficult for people. So the communication is horrible. A lot of it's through email itself. And let's say you use the platform a couple of times and you find yourself getting behind, just late on the payment or something like that. To correct the situation, they make it extremely difficult. So it has the most negative aspect on your credit report because that's what most people try to utilize money, not just for the money itself, but also the idea of trying to help improve their credit standing and the credit report in that point. And it's supposed to possibly, give them, a better standing and give them access to that because they've had some credit challenges before. I mentioned before the app is horrible to utilize, and one particular incident where individuals 3 different times they've used the platform, they got behind on one. They were trying to help change the rating. They promised this individual to change the rating, and they did not. They showed them the 50% payment history when it should be closer to 80%, and they said they were changing. This is one incident, but there was a number of people who complained and said this is a horrible place to utilize. And what's sad about it is that Credit Karma is a pretty big platform that most people know, and they receive affiliates from that point, and that's how they make their money. And they'll tote it, even though it has a negative aspect to it, and a lot of people have given it, enough people have given it a bad rating. So Possible Finances, if you're looking for a way to obtain some money in that point, I would recommend that you not go based on the comments that's been had, the reviews. And again, you're going to get a lot of positive reviews, but for people that I've heard, and briefly when I was as a credit counselor at Money Mansion, ClearPoint, that became Money Mansion International, they're one not to go with, even though they have the most fantastic advertising and give you the base that everything is possible because Possible Finance will make it happen. Stay away from them from that point. Another toad is not everybody doesn't always get a loan from them too. So even though the name possible doesn't mean that everyone's possibly going to get a loan. These are just some of the experiences that I've heard. Do your own due diligence, but Possible Finance, if you're thinking of utilizing, I would strongly suggest using someone else and find another personal loan company that you can do. Always work to always improve your credit report and credit standing. And that's by doing the hard work of actually looking and addressing issues, establishing good payment history, paying down debt obligations, and just, things that I've done in the video in the past. And there's so much information on that. So, Possible Finance, stay away from them. Another thing I found out too, I want to make sure, comes to things that just jogged in my mind as the time comes. Even if you approve for them, I also find out that it's even hard to put the money, if you approve, say, hey, we're going to give you the money. And they only give small amounts. That's another thing. They give very small amounts. $500, $250, $1,000, and even if you've been approved for those small amounts, it's hard to get it inside the account. Say people made reviews and complaints about how difficult it is to get the money inside the account, even if they've been approved. And they'll say that you've been approved for this amount, and actually, in a lot of cases, it's actually for less. So let's give an example. If you've been approved for $500, it actually may be $250. Again, there's nothing possible about Possible Finance from the countless aspects of people who have used the service, and a lot of them complain about it, and it's not a good service, and you just need to be aware of that. Again, I heard a little bit dealt with them briefly when I was as a credit counselor, but I'm hearing more and more from different people, and even reading some reviews myself. Always work to fix your improve your credit report, but Possible Finances, look for someone else to go to for a personal loan. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments. Until my next video on Banks Credit Chat.